Hey guys, what's going on? It's Absolute Quality, and today we have another how-to Crucible weapon review, and today we're going to be looking at Suros Regime, the auto rifle of the exotic form. Now, if you don't know, the Suros Regime was brought from Destiny 1. It was a little remake of the weapon, nice little remake for Destiny 2, and to tell you the truth, I'm very happy that this happened because I very much enjoyed the Suros Regime, and I'm sure a lot of Destiny 1 veterans also loved it as well. Although because the current meta, Graviton Lance is still obviously the better choice in any situation that you would like to choose. So, sometimes you do get bodied with this weapon, mainly because there's a weapon out there that's not fair at all. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the stats. So let's go ahead down there in the right hand corner. You probably already, it's gone. It's gone on your screen. I'm sorry. It's gone. But for me, it's just still there. So I'm sorry. I might do like a screenshot of it maybe, and then I can put it down there in the corner. I don't know. Impact is low. So it does about 16 to 17. I think it's like a 16 head, maybe 15 body, somewhere around there. You can see it in the gameplay. You'll see when I'm shooting actual people, but I'm pretty sure it's a 17 head shot. And that's not bad, especially when you have 36 rounds in the magazine as well as a 600 round per minute. That means technically that every single time you're shooting, you're popping out, six rounds a second. So you think about that. It's 6 rounds every single second. So you're putting out a lot of damage very quickly with the Suros Regime. And the range is actually quite good. It does hit from very good distances, as well as not dropping off immediately. Like the damage drop off that some weapons have is really crappy. Like all of a sudden it cuts off and you can feel that range, and then if you get into a gunfight and that's too far, it kind of makes the gunfight a little unsteady for you because you have to either push or back off, and then it's kind of poopy. I really didn't come up with any of that, really. It's just, it kind of came as it went. I really didn't have any problems with the range aspect of it. I mean, I did a couple times, mainly because of the fact that I was getting shot with the Graviton Lance, but other than that, really didn't have any problem with the range. It's pretty good. Stability and handling, it's actually a really easy gun to hold on to. It's very, very nice. It's very easy to keep a hold of, if you know what I mean. It's much easier to control the recoil on this weapon than a lot of the other weapons out there, so that if you need a little recoil assistance, this one's going to help you out quite a bit. And then moving on to reload speed, the bar is very high, therefore it is very fast. It's a very good reload speed, and it's quite nice. It's one of those tactical reload speeds that you definitely need in a gunfight, and it just makes things a whole lot better, especially if you're fighting more than one person. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the perks. So the first perk is its intrinsic perk, which is its Suros Legacy, and the bottom half of each magazine deals bonus damage, as well as it has a chance to return health on that kill. So each bottom half, so I mean if you take 36, divide that by 2, so the bottom 18 bullets that you have in the round in the magazine will do bonus damage, as well as if you're killing someone in that bonus damage, you might have a chance to return your health on that kill. So it's a little cool little perk. It's not really, it doesn't work all the time, obviously, because, I mean, if you kill someone before the first 18 bullets and then you reload, you obviously don't get the bonus damage. And then if you also are not killing them in that bonus damage, you're not getting the health. And plus, it's also a chance, so it may not happen at the same time. But, it's a little cool. I've seen it happen a couple times while I was in the Crucible. You notice it a little, especially when you're very weak. But moving on to the next one, they have Tactical Mag. Tactical Mag is always a good perk. It increases your reload speed a lot, so that's probably why this gun has a lot of reload speed. You can't really see it because, it's the only one in that slot, so there's no changing and switching to see which one's better, but it does increase a lot of that. It also increases magazine size as well as stability, so again, Tactical Mag literally does not hurt any single thing, but it only gains on 3 things. It's again, a perfect perk. Then we head on to the 2 that are interchangeable. So we have Spinning Up and Dual Speed Receiver. So Spinning Up is kind of like the other Suros weapon that was introduced in Destiny. Sweet business. So when it spins up, more you fire it, the faster and faster and faster it gets. And then also with Dual Speed Receiver, that is your Destiny 1 perk that you had before, is when you leveled the gun all the way up, it got the perk where when you aim down sights, the weapon rate of fire slowed down while the weapon damage increases. So it kind of turned into a harder hitting, slower shooting auto rifle rather than the very, very quick shooting that it has before. And that is only when you aim in, not when you're aimed out. I mean, when you're aimed in, it shoots slow, but when you're aimed out, it still shoots as fast as it can, which is the 600 rounds per minute. So out of these perks, I have personal experience, right? I have to test all the perks now because of my blunder on the one weapon that I won't talk about. But I have to try all the perks. So I did try out the dual speed receiver. I kind of went with that one first because I figured out that was probably going to be the best one, because that's the one that came from vanilla Destiny. That's the one. That's the one that came from Destiny 1. I figured, hey, why don't I just grab this weapon and go back to battle the same exact way that I did before. And so I used that like that for a while, and then, you know, I did alright. I wasn't having really great games, I guess, but I was doing alright. And then I switched to spinning up, and I kind of noticed there was a little bit of a change, especially since if I got into longer gunfights, you know, when you're shooting a lot and you're shooting mainly your entire magazine because either the opponent is jumping around or they're continually peeking a corner or something, I did find that using spinning up was a lot better, mainly because if I accidentally got myself into a 1v2 and I still had plenty of health at this point. I get into a 1v2, I have plenty of health, I haven't been shot very much. If you have spinning up, you can easily win that fight, mainly because not only do the bullets come out even faster, but once you shoot them faster, like once the spin up finally comes, it's all bonus damage magazine. It's all bonus damage bullets. And so it's the entire bottom half that you're just wrecking people. So if there are two people and, you know, you're hurting the one and it starts spinning up and going faster and you kill them, you go right to the second person, you're already full speed, full bonus damage magazine, and you're just murdering them, which does help a lot, especially if you're using the dual speed receiver. You're kind of, you know, you're shooting that one guy and then you go back to that guy. You might not be in the bonus damage magazine yet. You might not be in the bottom half, but with that one, you're immediately in the bottom half. Yeah, you might run out of bullets a little bit faster in your magazine, but other than that, honestly, I thought that was the better perk. I don't know. You can test it out, see what you want. I honestly thought spinning up was better, mainly because it got into that bonus magazine as fast as possible, and that was probably the best thing for it. So those are the perks. I think I'm going to give perks a 9. I want to give perks a 9 mainly because it has, first of all, it's got its exotic perk, the intrinsic perk, and then it's got tactical mag, and then this is probably the only exotic that I've done so far that has an option between two different perks inside of the perks. So with all the other exotics, you know, it doesn't have any options in there. It's all just blue dots the whole way. There's no switching or seeing what's better and what's worse, but this one actually has options, and I actually like that a lot better on exotics. I really wish that happened. I really wish that each slot had another one that you could choose from. That would make the guns probably pretty OP as well. So, but regardless of that fact, I'm going to give it a 9, mainly because it does have quite a few things on it. Especially it has tactical mag, the intrinsic perk, and then it has two other ones that you could choose from, which could make the gun godly or not godly, I don't know. Gonna give it a 9. Then we'll move on to long range and short range. Long range, I am gonna give it a 7.5. It was quite good at long range. It wasn't the best, obviously. I mean, Graviton Lance holds that slot very, you know, by itself. But it did do quite well from the long-range distances that I was fighting in. I wasn't having a super big problem fighting those gunfights. Again, I was having problems against Graviton Lance. I was not having any problems against any other weapon. And then moving on to short range. Short range obviously is good. It's an auto rifle, so it does do well. I excel with auto rifles, and that's mainly like the gun that's the gun of my choice, honestly. And so at short range, I was doing well because it does shoot quite fast, and, you know, it's an auto rifle. They're supposed to do well at medium range, and so it does good at short. So short's getting an 8. Moving on to effectiveness, we know we need to get the kill-death ratio and all that sorts of jazz. So the KD that I did end up with was a 1.84, so it was pretty good. It wasn't super good. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't bad either. But 1.84 is actually really good. There's some games that I had some bad times, but I played this whole thing in Iron Banner mainly because I like Iron Banner and I like grinding the Iron Banner, so I kind of played in the Iron Banner. And there's obviously some tryhards with Graviton Lance. You see Graviton Lance probably more in Iron Banner than you do anywhere else. So yeah, I'm probably having a little bit of a problem there trying to fight the Graviton Lance off. But for kills, I had 258, and then for deaths, I had 140. If you add those up, we get 398 total engagements. And then we'll take our equation, slap that up on the screen. We take our kills and assists, the 258. We divide that by the 398, which is the total. We multiply that by 100, and then we come out with a score of a 6.5 for effectiveness. Moving on to overall rating, all we have to do is add up those four numbers, divide by 4, and that number comes out to be a 7.8. The total for this weapon is going to be a 38.8. 8. Now we can go into the ranking process. If you don't know about the ranking process, I take the score that I just got on your screen, which is the 38.8, and I take that against, first of all, its category. So in this case, it's the auto rifles. And then I take it against every single weapon that I've done in the Crucible, and then we see how it ranks there. So first of all, for auto rifles, Suros Regime is coming in at 3rd. It is under Uriel's Gift as well as Scavelock for now. I did enjoy this weapon. I mean, with a score of a 38.8, obviously this weapon is quite good. There is no denying that this weapon is good. But, you know, obviously Uriel's Gift is still... I think I got beat out a couple times with Uriel's Gift. I don't think I see Scavelock very often, actually, in the Crucible anymore. I used to see it a lot, but now I don't see it ever. So that's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe I have to retest that weapon, or maybe no one's using it and it's just a gem that I need to start using. I don't know. But that's where it sits in the auto rifles. Now let's go ahead and take it in the entire list. So sadly for the Suros Regime, it just gets outside the top 10. Not able to get in there quite yet. And with a score of a 38.8, it is coming in at 11th. Like I said, it is a very good gun. I would suggest using it. It's quite good in the Crucible. I mean, obviously you're going to have to compensate with your secondary. So probably going to have to find another energy weapon that is very good in that slot. That's probably not an auto rifle. You probably don't want to run double auto rifles. You probably want to run a scout or like a hand cannon or something, but you are going to have to compromise with the Graviton Lance. If you're running that and you very much enjoy the Graviton Lance, this probably isn't a way out of your slump or something like that. I would probably stick with Graviton Lance, but if you do want to use Suros Regime, there are some other weapons that are very good in the energy slot as well. You know, submachine guns, and specifically a sidearm called Last Hope is also very good in that option if you're trying to run like a fast build or something. But yeah, go ahead and try it out. Suros Regime is good. It's an exotic, so might as well try it out. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of weapons in the Crucible, but obviously exotics, you know, you want to try them out. You always want to see if they're the top dog in the Crucible, right? So go ahead, try it out. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to see more content from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And that's all I have for today. I'll see you later.